Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Crochet Creations by Cam. My name is Cam, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet a solid granny square. So if you're looking for a regular granny square tutorial, I will link it right up here for you. I have a tutorial on that already on my channel. But to start out, we are going to make a magic circle. So to start out, holding my yarn, I'm going to wrap it around my pinky, over and under, not tight, so that I can easily pull it, and it's going to go over the rest of my fingers, and then I'm going to wrap it around my middle finger just to make a loop, pull it off, and then hold the center of that loop between my middle finger and my thumb. I'm going to take my crochet hook. This is a 5mm with a 4-weight yarn. This is worsted weight. Put my hook into the magic circle with my hook facing away from me. Grab that yarn, and then as I'm bringing it through the circle, I'm going to turn it and pull it towards myself, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull that yarn through, and now my magic circle is secure and I can let the loop go. So now to start our first round of the granny square, we're going to do a stacked single crochet. So some people, they would like chain 3 or 2, depending, to make their first double crochet. But I prefer to do a stacked single crochet just because I think it ends up looking better. So to do that, you're going to go into your magic circle under the tail of your yarn and also the loop. Make sure you're going under 2. Grab your yarn and pull it through. So you should have 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over again and pull it through both of those 2. And then to finish out the stacked single crochet, we're going to go under this front post right here in between my fingers. So there's 2 posts, these 2. It's a little hard to see. From our first single crochet, we're just going to go onto that first one right here and do the same thing we did before to make a single crochet. So that's a stacked single crochet. It's 2 single crochets on top of each other, and that counts as our first double crochet of the round. So now to finish out our granny cluster, we're going to yarn over, then insert our hook into the magic circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through the second 2 loops on your hook. So that is your second double crochet. And now to finish out the granny cluster, we're going to do that one more time to make our third double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook in the magic circle to bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2. So now we have our first granny cluster of our granny square. Next, in order to make the corner, we're going to chain 2, so just yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. That's going to be our corner space. And now we're going to make another granny cluster, so we're going to do 3 double crochets. So yarn over before you insert your hook. So it's 1, 2, 3. So now we have 2 granny clusters and our corner space here. We're going to make another corner space by chaining 2, then another granny cluster, so that's 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So now we have 1, 2, 3 granny clusters and then 2 corner spaces. So now we're going to make our last granny cluster after we chain 2 to make our corner space, and then do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Alright, now I'm going to pull on my yarn ends to close my magic circle. I pull mine nice and tight to get that gap in the middle as small as possible. And then to make our last corner space, I prefer to make that by doing a half double crochet. So yarn over, and then we're going to go through this first double crochet. It's actually the top of our stacked single crochet. So yarn over and go through under that stitch, pull the loop, and then pull through all 3 loops to create a half double crochet, and I think that looks a lot neater. So here's our first round, a nice perfect little square here. And then to start our second round, I'm going to turn my work to make sure that my rounds are nice and even. And then into that space that we just crocheted here with our half double crochet, we're going to do another stacked single crochet to start round 2. So insert your hook, pull the loop, yarn over and pull through both of those loops on your hook. Now again, we're going to go into this front post right here. Insert your hook and pull the loop, and then pull through both those loops on your hook to make your stacked single crochet. Now I'm going to mark that with a stitch marker so that we can see where the end of our round is. Okay, next we're going to do 2 more double crochets. That will be our first granny cluster. So there's 1 and 2. And then here is where it differs from a regular granny square if you already know how to do that. So we're going to go into our next stitch. So we just crocheted into the corner space that we ended on our last round. Now we're going to go into this next stitch here. We're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, and pull up a loop. I missed some strands here. Yarn splitting. There we go. Now we yarn over, pull through 2, and 2 again. And then we're going to do that until we reach our next corner space. So into the next stitch, double crochet, and then another one. Insert your hook in there, and then in our last one, we're going to insert our hook. So then our last one, we're going to do another double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2 again. So now that we've made it into our corner stitch, we have to make a corner. So to make a corner, it's the same way we did it in the first round. So into that chain 2 space right here, yarn over, and then make 3 double crochets, 2, 3, and we're going to chain 2. This will be our corner space that we're crocheting into for the next round. And now into this same space that we just did the first 3 double crochets into, we're going to do 3 more double crochets. So it's 1, 2, 3. And now we have our finished corner. So just like we did on the previous side, we're going to go into the next 3 stitches and do double crochets in all 3. That's 1, next one 2, and last one 3. Okay, now we are at a corner space again. So we're going to do 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space, chain 2, and into the same space 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And back at a side again, so we're going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch. That's 1, next one 2, and the last one 3. Third corner space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets in this same space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're at our last side, so that's 1 double crochet in each of these 3 stitches. 1, next one, 2, and last one, 3. Now we have the corner that we started on. So in the first corner, if you remember, we only did 3 double crochets. We didn't make a full corner. So to finish out this corner, we're going to go into this space right here, do 3 more double crochets, and then we're going to make our corner space just like we did in round 1, where we do a half double crochet, and we're going to go into the stitch that we marked with our stitch marker, which is the top of the stacked single crochet again. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull the loop, and then pull through all 3 at once. And there you have round 2 of your solid granny square. So now, just like we did last round, we're going to flip our work, and once again we're going to put a stacked single crochet right where we ended. So I'm going to take my stitch marker out for now, put it back in a second. So here's the corner space we just made. Insert your hook there, do a single crochet, and then in this front post we're going to insert our hook and make another single crochet. Okay, there's our stacked single crochet. Into this top single crochet stitch we're going to put our stitch marker so we know where we ended the round. And now into this same corner space we're going to put 2 more double crochets. There we go. Now moving on to the side, we're going to put 1 double crochet in every single stitch until we get to this corner space over here. So 1, next one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There we go. Now that we've reached our corner space, we're going to make another corner, so that's 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into this same space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're back at the side, so that's 9 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Back at the corner, so 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. You guys should get the gist by now, so I'm just going to finish out this round, and then I will come back to you for round 4. Okay, we're at the end of our 3rd round, so we need to finish out our corner again. So into this chain 2 space from our corner, we're going to put 3 double crochets. We have our first 3 over here, and then we're going to half double crochet to the top of that stacked single crochet from the beginning to make our corner space. So you can see it's kind of curling right now, but that'll fix with it being blocked. As you can see, once you flatten it out a little bit, it's better and it's nice and square, so wet blocking would probably be the best practice to make it perfectly square and to make it lie flat. So let's go to round 4. We'll do a total of 5 rounds. We're going to once again turn our work. Should be back on the tail side into that space that you made with your half double crochet. You're going to make another stacked single crochet. So make a regular single crochet in that space, and then make another single crochet into that front post. Mark it with your stitch marker, and then to finish out the first half of the corner, 2 more double crochets. Now, just like before, we are going to double crochet into every stitch on this side until we get to our corner space. Alright, we made it to our corner space, so as always we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. Alright, we're going to side again, so we're going to double crochet until we get to the corner space. And I'm just going to keep going with this, and I will once again meet you guys at the end of the round. Alright, we've hit our corner, so we're going to do 3 double crochets for our granny cluster. Chain 2, and then 1 more granny cluster. Right, and then you're just going to, again, follow the same pattern around, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch along the side, and then making 1 granny cluster, chain 2, and then another granny cluster in every corner, and I will meet you back at the end to close off our granny square. Alright, we have finished our last side, so to close out our very last round, we're going to put a granny cluster in our last chain 2 space, and then we're going to connect to the beginning of our round with a half double crochet. So feel free to keep going, make your granny square as big as you want it, or you could have stopped earlier to make it smaller. It's completely up to you what you want to do for the size. I'm going to take my stitch marker out, and then I will show you guys how I close up my granny squares. So I'm going to take my yarn scissors, get a decent sized tail, good few inches. I feel I just snipped my finger. Didn't realize they were that sharp. Okay. Now we're going to yarn over, basically chain, and then pull our yarn all the way through. Okay, now we're done with our crochet hook. I'm going to take my yarn needle. I avoid losing it by using a stitch marker to attach it to my yarn scissors. Sorry, it's really close. Alright, now we're going to take our yarn that we just cut off and thread it through our needle. Apparently I only got it through half. I promise I can thread a needle, guys. This yarn is just so splitty. Okay, so now we're gonna do what's called an invisible fasten off. So we're going to skip what is the next stitch and go into the one after that. Insert our yarn needle underneath the entire stitch and pull the yarn through, and then we're going to stick our yarn back through that little loop it's coming out of to kind of finish our stitch. See how by doing that, pull it tight, it looks just like another stitch. So then I'm going to turn my work over to the wrong side, and I'm just going to work my yarn tail through. I just like to get it to where the double crochets are because it's really easy to hide it like this, especially in a solid granny square here. I just kind of go underneath all the bottoms, just like that, and it hides very nicely. You can't even see it on either side. So I'll do that for a little bit, and then I'll move down to the next round and go in the opposite direction, just so that there's really no chance that our yarn end can fall out. Just gonna smooth it under. Through one of our double crochet stitches, and then we'll do what we did just before. Go underneath the very bottom of all of the double crochets in the opposite direction. And since I still have a good amount of tail left, I'm going to go down this way as well. And I'll probably change directions one more time just to make sure it's really good and in there. I do not want my pieces coming apart. I'm going to go down and change directions again. Okay, we've woven in quite a few inches of yarn here, so that should be good. Now I'm just going to use my yarn needle to split my yarn in half. Just push it all the way up. When you have a long piece like this, it kind of just gets twisted in the wrong direction, so you gotta help it out. But there we go. So we've separated our yarn. Now I'm just going to tie a double knot. And I want to pull it too tight so that it doesn't cinch my piece, but tight enough that it's, you know, a tight knot. And I'm going to take my yarn scissors and I'm going to cut these two ends as close to the knot as I can. And like I said in one of my previous videos, I do save all of my little yarn ends to use as stuffing for my amigurumi pieces, so they do not go to waste. So there's that. We've woven in one end. Now we have to weave in our end from the magic circle. So before I do that, I'm just going to give it a tug, see if I can get it any tighter, which I did. This one's not as long, so there's not going to be as much extra, which is fine. There we go. And then for this, all I do is I go around my magic circle. I try to do it at least once. So just underneath all these very first stitches that we did, just to kind of reinforce it and make sure it's nice and tight and then it won't fall apart. So especially if you're making a piece that is going to be washed at some point, like if you're making clothing or maybe a bag and things like that are more likely to be washed or get pretty well used, you want to make sure that you reinforce your magic circle just to be on the safe side. Doesn't take too much time, and it's worth it. So once I pull it through, I try to tug on it, make sure it's nice and tight. And then we'll go through a second time. Alright. We're going to do the same thing we did before, which is split our yarn in half up to the top. And then tie a little double knot with it. And then we will cut the ends off and save them for stuffing. And there you have it, a lovely solid granny square. So, trying to flatten it out for you guys so you can see it a little better. But again, once you block it, it will look a lot nicer. So, that is it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you very much for watching my tutorial. If it was helpful for you, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what other videos that you would like to see from me, or thoughts, questions, anything else that you had about this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. I post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Monday and Friday I post a tutorial just like this, and every Wednesday I post a crochet vlog. So, thank you guys very much for watching again, and I will see you next time. Bye!